Hello.
Yes, doctor. I have something to say. Good evening. Thank you so much. Um, Doctor, some of the members of this group were idea refreshers. And there's a way how you throw in some programs, you talk about them, things looking totally normal for you. But to us, as you're producing through some of us, especially to those who may be in silent mode, some things are not clicking. Me, I would prefer, or I would request, go slowly, step by step, because the different alternatives you are using, maybe they are good examples, but they could bring in issues to some people. So I'm representing those that are there who can talk. Thank you.
I think it's okay to get lost. I think it's okay to get lost, but maybe if the person who is lost, if they could be specific, yeah, if they could be specific on where they are lost so that you can repeat for them. I wouldn't mind repeating over since these are new concepts to some of us, but I think maybe being specific and then also utilizing a chance of class to go through some of the things that have been covered would be helpful.
Sure that uh, I'm going as slow as possible, really, and I think I shared these links previously. Let me try to reshare some of these links that I'm talking about, where you can go and code online for those who have not who have not who are, these are online compilers for those who are not able to install the environments. I believe I kept re-echoing that I hope everyone has, installed these environments. I shared those simple, easy to follow YouTube videos, how to download, where to download VS Code from, how to install it, how to install Python, and how to install Anaconda for the most part. So if you feel you are lost somewhere, I will really request that you can unmute yourself and tell us where you are lost from. So in the meantime, I will try to. I was talking about how to run Python, and in this tutorial we shall use VS Code mostly, and also PyCharm. So Watson saying that I was in earlier in the previous class, but I think a bit fast, but it's well. Okay. So as I said, this is just basically an intro for programming. In my first programming class, apart from printing hello world, I also didn't pick anything, but it is very pertinent that we understand some of these small principles, like what is the programming language, why are we basically doing Python. And I was trying to say that Python is the language that is used in machine learning and AI development. It's used in web development, back-end web development with frameworks like Django, frameworks like Flask. It's used in data science. So it has a wide usage, and you can never go wrong with Python, especially if you are you're choosing a programming language. So we say that Python is an interpreted language. So if you are to get confused, please take that Python is an interpreted programming language, and we have Python, we have an interpreter interpreting it into machine code. Machine code are basically ones and zeros. So you have a sequence of ones and zeros trying to tell the computer what to do. Ones usually for on, zeros for off. So when you are writing your code, you are not going to see these ones and zeros. You are basically going to see, you're going to write your print statement, and maybe the interpreter is going to take that print statement and then convert it into machine code. Okay, so I believe, yeah, that is where we are, and we are saying that Python has an interpreter. So the interpreter is the software that interprets that Python code that you are writing into machine code. And I remember saying that the reason why we have an interpreter is because the computer does not understand your English. It does not understand Lusoga. It does not understand any language you're speaking. It speaks machine code. And from machine code, when you're trying to interpret, when you're trying to write code to tell the computer what to do, you need the interpreter to basically convert that code that you wrote, your print statement, and then convert it into ones and zeros that the machine can understand. And in return, the machine will do what you basically need. And I say that we have different interpreters depending on the language they were written in. The official interpreter of Python is written in C, and that is the interpreter that I shared, that I showed you how to download in the previous. You don't need these others. Maybe later on in your career, if you continue with your career, you maybe might or might not, but I just tried to show you that we do not have one interpreter of Python. We have others. You'll see developer memes, Jython. What is Jython now? What is PyPy? What is Iron Python? So these are just different interpreters, but what you installed on your machine is C Python. And I hope I'm clear up to that point. So, and I said that we are going to start coding, and we need to be a little bit, at least we need to understand how to run the Python code. And I was trying to show you that you can run your code in the terminal, you can run your code in a code editor, you can run your code in an IDE, which is an integrated development environment. You can run your code in a notebook. Now, notebooks, we have Jupyter, and that is the one that we are going to basically be using mainly, and a blend of VS Code. So if you have Jupyter, you're okay. If you have VS Code, you're okay. But later on, when we start the data science part of it, we'll need to upgrade to the notebooks. Okay. So we have others like PyCharm. PyCharm also runs. It is a very good IDE for Python. We have Spider. I haven't used Spider in really, but I believe it's also some powerful IDE. So I believe everyone has installed this VS Code or has installed Jupyter and has installed Python on their machines. At least that's one thing I know. I kept sharing that message in the group over and over. Please, let's do this. In this lesson, we're going to basically try to run Python code. So we said that we have online compilers for those, yes, who are using company machines and cannot install softwares on their machines. We have Replit, we have W3 Schools, we have Glot.io, and I've shared those links within the group just a few minutes back. So you can just go on those platforms and run code. For easy use, you can just go to Glot.io. It does not require any sign in. You just go select a language that you want to code in, and then you start coding right away. So that is the presentation, and let us now jump to the part where we are going to now start the development. Okay. So for those who are basically running, who are using Anaconda, you have this Anaconda Navigator. For those who are using VS Code, you just have the software as is. Okay. Probably looking like this. Okay. So I'm going to show you, for those who are using Anaconda, just launch Jupyter Notebook. Okay, launch Jupyter Notebook. For those who are using online compilers, you can seek this out. For you just need to launch maybe the website and wait for us to start to code. So for those who are using Anaconda, let's launch Notebook. So when you click Notebook, and at least I received some messages from some people who were trying to install, they were stuck, and they told me what was basically happening. And yes, Pravia, you have your hand up.
Do I need to run this on internet, or even if I put off internet, it can still run?
Yes, Jupyter can run even if you don't have internet. VS Code will run even if you don't have internet. As long as you installed your Python, you're good.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
So, Kenneth, you have your hand.
Yes, like before you went back to the other, describing how the other person, the other colleague had got lost. You had told us we are going to use PyCharm.
No. I said there are different IDEs, and PyCharm is one of them. But in this tutorial, we are going to use Jupyter and VS Code. If you have PyCharm, it is okay. It will work for you. It will run Python code. I've used it also, but for this specific tutorial, especially if you are a beginner, it's good that you follow what I'll be doing. So I will be using Jupyter, and
Okay.
I will also show you how to run the same code in VS Code. For those online compilers, it is really straight away. You just go write your code and then click run, and click the run button and the code will start running. So for when you open Jupyter, probably it's going to bring for you a file directory like yes, Douglas.
To answer Dudu Kenneth, I think PyCharm is also like VS Code in a way. So if you have used VS Code before, PyCharm, the only changes are like navigating around it. So whatever we do in VS Code, it is similar to PyCharm. So don't worry about that.
Yes, that is absolutely correct. And so I was saying that if you launch your Jupyter, it's going to bring for you this file directory. Okay, so just choose where you want to store your files. So how do I run my Anaconda? Click on it. Click on Anaconda. It will start to. You'll see it running, and then you'll get that navigator first. That navigator, and then you'll get the notebooks. So and I want us to use these notebooks and keep getting used to these notebooks, because when we start the data science, that is where we shall basically be. That will be our playground. That is why I chose to keep running this code in Anaconda in Jupyter Notebooks, because it's going to be our playground until we reach the part of machine learning. And for those who will want to continue, then we shall continue to TensorFlow. So if we have you launched your notebooks, you will get this directory. Select your desktop and choose where you basically. If your Anaconda takes you back to reinstall, no, do not click the thing you downloaded. Click on the thing that you installed. You see that when I click my Windows button and I type Anaconda, it brings me this. That is what I want you to click on. It has to have app. So if you didn't install it, if you're clicking on the installable, it's going to keep taking you back to the reinstalling part of it. So I don't know. The person who is asking, that is Naisonga. Did you install Anaconda? You can unmute your mic. Were you successful? Did you install it successfully? Oh, okay. And mic is muted. So look for, you can even create a new folder there. You can just right click in an empty space and create a new folder there. But I had created a folder. Let me just say maybe Python. I can just say Python tutorials. And when I do that, I have Python tutorials. I'll just double click it and then I'm into that Python. So you should be able to see desktop / Python tutorials. Okay. So when you are there, you come to new, and then create notebook. Okay. So you'll see a notebook launching. Provia, you have your hand up.
Yes. Can I save this one also under documents? Because I don't see desktop coming.
Desktop. You can just change your directory, but yes, you can go with the flow of documents, but create a folder within documents. Maybe you later change it. On your second launch, it might bring the full computer directory, including the desktop.
Okay.
Yes, Shepard.
Just to be clear, you said some of us that are using the glots, you said we sit this one out. What point do we start to run along with you?
You're saying what?
I said, you can get me, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
So for example, us that are using, I'm using glots.io.
Yes.
What point do I get to run along with you?
When we start coding, when we start writing the code.
Okay.
For now, I'm just showing.
So I wait?
You can wait.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Soro.
Yes, Joshua, are you getting me?
Getting you.
Maybe you can open another window. You show us the interface in VS Code or Glot so that when we start coding, we're on the same page.
Yes. I was actually going to redo the whole process for those that I left behind. Let me just close. Let me just leave this open. So when you get your Anaconda Navigator, this is for those that have left behind. Look for Jupyter Notebook. Okay, Jupyter Notebook, and click launch. So when you launch, you'll see this thing down here loading. I have a loading screen down here, and you're going to get a screen which is telling you home. Okay, so that screen should bring for you a directory of files. Okay, should bring for you a directory of files. Basically your file tree, your basic file tree of the computer. So you have desktop, documents, everything. So I have desktop. Luckily, some might not see it, but I do have it here. So when I come to desktop, I had created a folder called Python tutorials, and then I just click in it and I say new notebook. Okay, and when I click new notebook, I should get a new notebook opened. And when I see that, just click and rename this part. Where you see this part untitled. Anthony, you're lost. Where have I lost you from?
My Anaconda tells me install. I don't get all the.
Okay. Did you
all
install?
the.
Did you download VS Code? Did you install VS
Pardon?
Code? Did you happen to install VS Code?
Yes.
Okay. You open VS Code. I will have a private call with you after so that we can see how to, because everyone's Anaconda must run. If you installed Anaconda, I believe I mentioned the differences between these two. I said if you have a slightly weaker machine, kindly install VS Code. If you feel your PC is a bit strong, it has some good RAM, it has some not too much RAM, not 32 GB, just some good RAM, you can be able to run your Anaconda. Yes, I see. Perith.
Yeah, I think I'm following closely. I think it's just a part where you said we click new, and then I heard you say new, when we click new, we check for, what do they call it?
Oh, okay. So let me just leave this.
But I have Python 3, I have terminal console, I have new file, a new folder.
I want new file. Sorry, no. Notebook is what I want.
I don't have notebook. I don't know why.
Oh, and did you launch Jupyter?
Definitely, I'm following closely.
Oh, okay. I think those are interesting things that happen. So, if you do not
It
have,
is the same to me.
It's the same thing.
You do not have
It's I think in the new version you have Python, so it works the same thing. It's the same thing.
Although this is where I'm finding new notebook.
Just click on the first option.
Oh, I installed mine like almost start of last year, so it should be using an older interface.
Josh, there is a way you can find new notebook. I realize you right click once and then it comes. But when you go to where you were telling us to go, which is up on new, you cannot find it. But when you just right click, there is a new notebook
I
here.
also get it here when I right click. But also at file new should be able to get new notebook. So when you go to file new notebook, I believe also when you right click, you should also be getting this. When you right click within that empty space, okay? Also at file and new, you should be getting a new notebook. So I see I can find it. So are we
Josh?
Yes, Douglas.
Sorry for interrupting. The person with Anaconda takes me back to reinstall.
But
can we fix that one also?
So reinstalling. I think they are clicking the version they download, the file they downloaded. It could be that I tried asking if they installed, but they did not respond. I think they are clicking the file that they downloaded, and they might not have installed. So when they click, it's taking them to the installation. Yes, installed. Did you find, yes, Naisonga, did you find the file that is downloaded? Did you find the installed version? When you press your Windows and say Anaconda, did you find? Yes, okay, I did. That's good. So I believe they are downloaded, clicking on that installable executable file. So I believe for all those who are using Anaconda, we might be at this stage. Just rename that file so that you can later find it. Python tutorials, tutorial, and when I click rename, it should give me the name Python tutorial. Now, that is it for those who are in Anaconda. Okay, so for those who are using online compilers, you can just keep waiting a little bit, some more 3 minutes. Yes, Kenneth? Kenneth, you have your hand up?
was like, hello?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
I was like, when I want to rename that the new notebook, mine gives options. Like I don't know where I've got a problem, because on the interface it says select, is it some sort of kernel?
Mm-hmm.
Then when I want to write what you were saying, then it gives me options. It gives me a flow up down button.
So are you, because I'm able to see my kernel from here, but also when you launch your notebook, basically when you launch, I want you to start from the launching part. When you launch, what do you see?
When I launch,
Yes. Do you get such a screen? Mine is in dark mode, but you can make yours might be by default light mode. So
yeah, I have that screen.
you have the screen with these folders and whatever.
Yes.
So
Yes.
choose a directory where you want to save your files, like for example desktop. Double click on it and create a new folder there, or select a folder that is already there. If you already have a folder there, you can select any, but if you don't have, you can right click and create a new folder, or you can even create a new notebook directly on the desktop. But for matters of being organized, let us do new folder and name that folder in which you'll be storing your notebooks.
Yes.
Yes, and then when you select that folder, for mine it is Python tutorials, I double click and I'm in.
Okay.
So right click in that empty space, you should be able to see in your notebook.
Okay, it is fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
You've seen it? Okay. Yes, Matthew.
Yes.
Matthew? Okay, so for those who are using VS Code, when you open your Visual Studio Code, you should be seeing something like this. So what you can do is just do file, okay? You can just do file. So you can create a folder on your desktop where you want to store your files first. For example, you can just say Python tutorials. I already have it. So what I will do, don't worry if my interface looks different from yours. Mine is in, let's say something, but yours might be appearing in different color. Anthony, yes.
The screen is not sharing. I'm lost.
My screen, people are not seeing the screen?
It has come, but still
I can see.
it disappeared.
Okay, okay. So
It has come. You share again. Start again.
So I just said that when you open your Visual Studio Code, this is what you see. This is the first screen that you see. So just
I don't see the screen. I'm not seeing the screen.
Is it for everyone or is it?
That is something to do with the internet. That is something to do with your internet. But we're seeing the screen.
Personally, I'm also seeing the screen.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe internet connection somehow, but personally, I'm seeing the screen.
Okay, yes. I think, Anthony, you can try to troubleshoot your screen.
I've seen the screen.
Okay. So
I've seen it now.
So you follow with me, open your Visual Studio Code, and you should be able to see the screen. Go to File, Open Folder, and as I say that, first create that folder on the desktop, Python tutorials. Click Open Folder, and you should be seeing some random some file tree. Click your directory, whether desktop, and when you go to desktop, select your folder, like for example Python tutorials, and click select. As simple as that. Now when you are in there, when your folder, you're able to see your Explorer here, have your file Explorer having these, your folder open basically. So you can click on that little icon, which has a file plus, or you can just say new file, and you can, I happen to have Python file, okay, and or you can just click that little plus icon, which when you hover over it, it says new file, and create a file first. Then it will prompt you to type, say, my file maybe .py. Okay, make sure that you put a .py at the end. For those who are using Jupyter Notebook, don't put the .py. Jupyter Notebooks has its own file extension, but if you're in VS Code, put that .py. And when you do that, let me try to zoom out so that you can basically see. Let me try to turn off my Copilot, I believe. Could be. So anyway, I can say print, okay. In here, I say maybe 5 plus 3. We had seen this, and then you click on that run button in that top right corner. There's run Python file dedicated, but I just want you to click that run. So when you click the button, you should be able to see your Python code run down here. For example, I see an 8, which is the sum of 5 plus 3. If I say again print this one, and I write, I click run, I should be able to see lesson down there. That's all you need to do when you're running the code in Python. So I believe it's really simple to use. I don't know if Mojisha, your hand is still up, or you put it up afresh, or you forgot to lower it. But let us make sure that we are okay until this point. When you write your code, file, open folder. When you open the folder, okay, for example, Python tutorials, select that folder. In this case, it was already selected. Go to this little button which says new file, and type the name of the new file, say new file.py, and then you can start coding in there. When you write your code, to see the output of your code, so I said, for example, 5 plus 3, when you have that code, click that run button in the corner, and you should be able to see it in the terminal down here. You should be able to see the terminal, the code running in the terminal. So that is it if you're running the code if you're using VS Code. I believe I have been as explicit as possible. So let me go back to Jupyter Notebook. Let me create a new notebook here. I can see the files that I created are in there. So I can say maybe this, let me rename it to lesson 1. Lesson 1. I can just, don't put a .py, just leave it. It has its own file extension. Don't tamper with it. So when I click, I believe everyone with the notebooks is able to see something like this. So now, notebooks. We're going to start slow. Then we shall see the different features of the notebooks. But if you're in notebooks, I wanted to now talk about the programming language, basically, talk about the different aspects in Python, okay? And when you're talking about Python, in any programming language, you cannot skip the idea of what we call data types, okay? So in notebooks, the reason why I chose to use notebooks is I can style my text. So if I come here, you see there's a little arrow, which, let me try to expand my screen. I believe, yeah, that is as big as it can get. So when I come down here, I can see code, I see markdown, and I see raw. So if I want to code, I'll press the code. If I want to run code in the cell, these are called cells. Okay, these are called cells. And if I want to code, I'll click code. If I want to run my print statement, and I say 5 plus 3. Okay. So to run it, there's that run button down up there. So if I run it, I'll see an 8. Okay. So, but yes, Shepard. Shepard, your hand is up. Was it a mistake?
I'm sorry, I had not unmuted. Are we joining you now at this point, or we still have to wait? Gloat.
You're using Gloat. In Gloat, in Gloat it is simple. So let me go to gloat.io. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot that. So I choose a language, which is Python in this case. And I believe you have something like this.
Sure.
So we are going to start. We are going to start.
Okay.
And I want you to follow along. Those who are in Replit, you can, it is those who are in W3 schools, it is also the same thing. In W3 schools, when I go to the website, I can select code editor. Okay. So let me place that link within the group, and so that we can have it also. But I believe I shared it earlier. So W3 schools is also there. So I have code editor. Now there's try front end and there's try back end editor. So as I said that Python is a back end language, come to back end editor and you should be seeing your screen like this. So this is where you put your code and this is where you see the output. Okay, so this is where you type your code, print 5 plus 3. I've overused this 5 plus 3, but when you click run, you should be able to see your output within. Oh, is it taking long? Okay, so you should be seeing an 8 there. So that is it for W3 schools. So yeah. So I was trying to talk about these the data types. Okay. So data types, we are trying to talk about the different, should I call them, data that can be held within Python. So let me first, I was trying to show you something within here, that if I say
Dr. Joshua, sorry to interrupt. Just repeat on the 3 schools, W3 schools. Just repeat. I lost you somewhere.
Do you have that link? Have you seen that link that I've posted in the group just right now? With W3 schools, just come to W3 schools and click when you, let me go back. So W3 schools, or you can just run it in Gloat. It is also okay. W3 schools, come to code editor, then select backend editor. Backend editor, then you will, this is where you write your code. When you write your code, you will click run. And when the code runs, you'll be able to see the output on the right side of the screen. So I believe we are okay until that part. Okay. So I was trying to talk about data types. Okay. So when you talk about data types, we are talking about the different types of data that we can deal with in where did my notebook go? Python type, this is the one. So in here, if I run the cell, I should be able to see a big heading. That is if I put a hash in front of it and I put a space. Okay, I should be able to see some nice heading. So and I can say in Python we have different data types. We have str, I'm going to mention what these are. Okay, so let me say I have str, or I have bool. Okay, I have int, we have lists. Okay, we have tuple, we have set, we have dict. Okay, and I'm going to mention what all these are. Okay, so str basically means string. Okay, so in Python, a data type of string is an equivalent to characters. Basically, we are dealing with characters. Okay, something that we want saved as a character is what we try to mention to call a string. So let me try to run some code here. So if I get all this code and I comment it out, if I say print and I say hello world, I believe every language starts with hello world. I don't know. So if I say hello world and I run that code, okay, I should be able to see hello world. Now, this hello world string is usually stored in double quotes, or we can even use single quotes. Okay, it will do the same thing, but you have to be careful. At some point when you're dealing with joining two strings together, you might have issues with these single quotes. So as a habit, or should I call it as a ritual, I love doing storing them in double quotes. So when I run that, I should be able to see the output of hello world. Now, this is a string. Now, a string is basically a set of characters, okay? So when we have a set of characters, we have to make sure that we store this set of characters within double quotes, okay? So that the programming the Python can print it out. Now we have bool, okay? So bool, this is what they call booleans, okay? So they call booleans. I'm going to mention what they are. So we have int, and these are integers, okay? We have lists, we have tuples. So for today, let us try to make sure that we stay with these first three, okay? We shall touch each of these. So I have mentioned what a string is, okay? I've mentioned what a string is. I've mentioned what a boolean is. I've mentioned what an integer is, okay? So when I talk about...
Doctor.
Yes.
We have some hands up.
Oh yes, I remember saying that people unmute your mics because I'm unable to see you. I'm missing. Mokondani Shepherd has hand up. Yes.
Doctor,
Am I too fast?
honestly, yeah, kind of. I think when you are demonstrating the different what, I didn't get the point where you actually started to code. I am sorry for taking us behind.
Which code editor are you using?
Glot.io.
Just go to glot.io. When you go to you should be able to see this. You should be able to see this. Hey, so yes. In there you will print. You write your code in the glot. You write your code, and then you click the run button, and you should be able to see the result down here.
Yeah,
that
sure.
Is glot, yes.
Okay, that's where we are at the moment.
That's where we are, and I'm trying to mention a little bit of. Is that the only hand that was up, or do we have others?
And maybe you could also just clarify on the strings and booleans and integers again.
It's okay.
Because I think you only explained strings. Anyway.
Provia.
Kindly.
Yes. Okay, so on my end, I don't see how do you enter like when you because I'm in the Jupyter notebook. When you put your code, how do you enter for it to generate Hello World?
When I click this run button down here, this you see that play button.
That one, yes,
You
yes.
should be able to get that output down there.
And the other curious question is, earlier on where there is the code, there are these other two things, Markdown row. Like when do you choose code Markdown row? And then the other curious question I had is, do you have to always put print before, like what's the science behind the print word?
What the science is, yes. And that's where I was coming, that we have data types. I was still trying to explain what data types we have, and also print it itself is a data type and it's a function. So basically, we are going to break down this print statement. Okay, so the print statement is trying to return whatever you want printed out. So if you want something outputted to the screen, you need the print statement. So the print statement is a little bit more should I say, straight. It's one of the things that are very, very straightforward. Okay. And when you use it, you are trying to basically tell the computer that I want whatever comes in these brackets, okay, whatever you want in those brackets to be printed out. I want to see what is held between these two parentheses. So when you look at for example, a print hello world, we have print, which is the function itself, and all functions will always have that there. Okay, but we shall see the difference, because we can have functions and methods, but we are not going to look at methods today. But a function is going to have to take in something within those parentheses. So let me show you. If I try to print without anything in there, I think here it runs because, but let me try to, if I put in 5, it's going to bring whatever is in those brackets. So the print statement is basically you're trying to see if the code that you're trying to print out what is held within those parentheses. Okay, so now in data types, we're saying with this print, I want it to print out this string called hello world. Okay, so now when you try to look at this string hello world, is just basically held within these double quotes. And a string in Python is a sequence of characters. Okay, it's a sequence of characters that is enclosed within these quotes, with these quotation marks. And in all cases, you'll find that a string will represent text. Okay, so now, and we have, let me put this before booleans. So now,
hello, Joshua.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Dr. Sir.
Now, maybe just the question you explained to the audience.
Yes.
When I write print in VS Code, okay, the color changes. When I just write a random word have, it remains white. Why does print change and why does other words don't?
Yes, and
open VS Code. Okay.
Yes, so
just write have.
If I print a random word, now it usually depends on the theme that you're using. It might be appearing different in your VS Code. It might be yellow, it might be bright green, whichever theme you're using. But everything in VS Code is it's a beautiful text editor. So if it is a function, it's going to select to present it differently. And I was coming there. I wanted to come there a little bit later to mention what keywords are and which words can you use and what you cannot use. So let us let us first hang in there. We are going to get to that part. Yes. So, but of course, you'll notice that the print statement has a different color from, from the string. And so, hello world, we have printed hello world. We have seen that a string is a sequence of characters, okay? And it is represented by double quotes, okay? So, double quotes. So let me make this cell a markdown. Preview, this is where you come. When I select it as a markdown and I run, it is going to basically make it like a heading or a paragraph of text. But if I did it as code, it is going to think that I'm trying to run code, and when I run it, it is going to give me an error of invalid syntax. Okay, so to make sure that if you want to type text, just do markdown. This is for those who are using Jupyter notebooks. Okay, so in VS Code we don't have the markdowns and all that. So we have this is a string. Okay, we have talked about the strings. So let me say here down here, I want to share this thing later. This notebook, I'll share it later. So these are strings. Now let us come to integers. What are integers? Okay, so let me create it as a markdown again. But if I put now 2 hashes, now these are things that you have to pick up when you are doing the Jupyter. Yes.
Joshua, sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
But I just need some clarity.
Yes. What is the clarity that you need?
Those ones of all those open on my web browser, so that at least I can try to follow through on my tabs here. However, for VS Code, I have tagged one on my browser here. I just want to open a workspace like the one that you have, so that I can follow through. Just guide me once again. Sorry.
This workspace is if you installed Anaconda. Did you install Anaconda?
No, I was not able. No, I'm using VS Code on web.
Oh, you're using VS Code on web?
Yes, web browser.
Oh, let me see the VS Code on web. I've never.
VS Code on web, you can get it on vscode.dev.
I've seen it here.
You've seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
vscode.dev. Yes.
VS Code for the web. You can. Where do I even open it from? I've never even used it. But for purposes of this
video, you go back.
Here.
No, go back to the back arrow on your the second option. Click the second option. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, vscode.dev. Yes.
Okay. I'm also learning here.
Yes.
Why is it loading slowly?
It will take some time meanwhile, but it will open.
Okay,
definitely.
So for the meantime, try to use faster compilers like this, W3 Schools or GLOT, because I see we are running out of time, and we need to.
Yes.
We need to go a little bit faster.
Josh.
Yes.
Where am I getting errors?
Where are you getting errors?
Yeah, I'm getting errors. I mean, I'm trying to enter, but I think they keep asking me when I say I want to run. They keep asking me. Let me just tap the run icon. So when I want to run, they keep asking me run selected cell, run the cell, and insert below. And then when I insert,
you're going this side. Don't go this side. This side is is for creating new cells and everything. But
I'm actually going up here where you see the word run.
This part.
And they give me where you see they give me that, but then I'm just getting errors. Maybe I can always just maybe concentrate since we don't have time, and I can check in with you later.
So which error are you getting? Syntax error?
Let me try to check and see.
Should be a syntax error.
Pero, did you use a capital letter on print?
Exactly.
The capital letter,
syntax error. Syntax.
This print should have small letters. The way it appears here, all have to be small caps. Don't put a capital P. You might want to be to English and then you put a capital P. But
okay,
you see that it gives me a name error actually, that print is not defined. But and we shall see these errors in the future. We shall try to look at what each error means. And as I kept saying that errors are your friend, they are not telling you that you have failed. They're telling you that, look here, there's a mistake here. So you should make sure that you befriend those errors. So was your mistake capital P, I believe? You might have wanted to punctuate properly. So when I have int, these are integers, and integers basically means these are numbers. Okay, these are numbers, and I was trying to show you the difference between the I was trying to show you the pardon, this is a markdown. I don't want a code. I want a markdown. So when I run a markdown, I should be getting smaller text. Or I can just leave it like that and just get it. So the way I'm getting these headings, by the way, it is when you go in a cell and you put one hash, you put a space and put heading, and you run that cell. You can select markdown and you run that cell, you get a very big heading. But if I get that if I put two hashes and I put heading, I should be able to, let me get heading and I run it, I should be getting a smaller one. Now if I put 3 and I say heading, I should also be getting a smaller one. Okay, like that. So we can have up to, I think, heading up to 4 or 6, something like that. And we shall see how this comes into play when we start data science, when you're trying to document everything that you're dealing with. So we are saying that integers are numbers, and numbers are basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, any number. Okay. So
Doctor,
yes.
Josh.
Yes.
When I put a hash, I don't get, and I run, I don't get the headings here.
Are you up here? You should select markdown if you are to get.
No, I'm using Gloat.
No. Gloat this is for Jupyter notebook.
Okay.
In Gloat, don't worry. Here I'm just trying to show you because later on you'll need to go to Jupyter when you start the data set.
I'll definitely go there.
So
this is just for tonight.
This is for Jupyter. Yes.
Josh, under integers, we are doing markdown because I don't see the coding anymore.
If you don't want to run the cell as code, if you just want to get this heading, like they have gotten it is a markdown. Yes.
Okay.
It's a markdown. Then you run. But later on, if you want to run the code, you change this thing back to code in a new cell. Okay. So, so far we have seen a print function, how it works. So I can say print, and I say 2 plus 2. I should be getting. It is still a markdown. So if I do this and I run, I should be getting 4. Okay. So when I come and say print, now I'm going to show you a type, a function called type. Okay. So if I save and if I say 2 plus 2 here and I run, I get this beautiful thing here called class int. Okay. Now, even if I go back here, if I came up here and I said, I copied this print hello, okay, and instead now I put a type part of it, a type function. Now, this is to check the data type, okay? I get class str, okay? So this is to tell me that this is string. Now, class is also a data type in Python. We shall look at classes later on, but class, for now, it is a data type. It's a custom data type. You can create your own data types within Python on top of the data types that are provided. So you can create classes. Now, this hello world is of a class what? String. Now, I don't want you to get confused. This, if I say print type, and even if I just put one, okay, I should be able to get class int. So it is telling me that this is an integer, okay? But what if I did print type 1.4, okay, or 1.5, and I ran that? You see, it tells me that this is of a class float. Now, this is the other data type that I want to introduce you to. These are floating point numbers. Floating points are basically decimal points. So whatever decimal point that you have is called a float. Now let me, if I put a cell up here, I put it by, I went to the extreme right and said insert cell above. There's above and then below. So if I say that, let me put now floats, and I put my hash, and when I say markdown, I get that I'm able to get floats. So floats are basically decimal points. Now I can also create add floats together. So I can say 1.5 plus 5.6, and of course I'll get a result as 7.1. And if I checked the type of course, the result of 1.5 and 5.6, I will have to get a class of float. Okay, so floating points are basically what they call decimal points. In programming, we call them floats. So we have another one of Boolean. Okay, so Boolean is basically
apologies to interrupt you,
yes,
Doctor.
Yes, sir.
A simple question. I observed for integers you do not put quotes.
Quotes, yes.
Is that a no?
So when you're printing integers and floats, do not put quotation marks. Okay. But if you put, for example, let me go back to integers, and if I said, let me get it in a new cell. Let me create a new cell down here. If I say print 5, okay, it looks like a number, doesn't it? But when I say print type of 5, okay, and I ran that cell, okay, I'm using a shortcut shift plus enter to run these cells. That's why I don't overclick here. So it tells me that it is of class str. So whereas we see that it is a number, we are basically going to get it, if you, as long as you've put it in quotes, you are basically dealing with a string. Okay, if you do not have it in quotes, you are dealing with an integer. Okay, so if I remove that and I say I use my type function to check what data type that is, if I run that cell, I see that one is an integer and another is a string. So in short, a string is always in quotes, and a integer, floats, we don't put them in quotes. Oh, what is wrong? So are we good? I believe I believe.
Yeah, we're good. We're
Okay.
good.
So booleans are these are yes or no things. Okay. So if I said true, this is true or false. Now I was going to bring in the concept of keywords within Python. So when you look at true or false, these are keywords. Now, if I say print true, okay, so let me try to print true. So it is going to tell me that true is not defined. But if I said print type, who's that? Okay. So sorry, I was trying to say that in Python we have the booleans. Okay. So with booleans, we are trying to bring in the concept of what? Of it can hold a true or false. Okay. So true or false. Okay. And or is also a reserved word. So I will talk about those shortly. So if I say that print out true with a capital T. Okay, when I say print out true, it's going to tell me true. Okay, if I say print false, and I run that, it's going to give me false. But now let me check. What is the shortcut for run? It is shift plus enter. Shift plus enter. So if I say print the type of true, okay, it is going to give me that it is of class bool. Okay, so it is of class boolean. Now, as new programmers, you might be confused by where these things are going to be used. Okay, so I just want you to follow along. Practice what we are trying to do, and these things will come handy. You see everything adding up. So, but first we have to learn what data types are. We have another data type. We have talked about strings, we have talked about lists, tuples, and set. Now, we are going to talk about these within the next session. Okay? We're going to talk about these within the next session. So let us first keep them. Let's first keep them. And let us go to what we call variables. Now, variables, let me get a markdown here. Variables are basically like containers. Okay, so these variables, let's assume that you have a kitchen. Okay, so in that kitchen you have a bowl that you use maybe to hold sugar. So in this case, if you're dealing with a kitchen, that bowl that you use to hold sugar is the variable. So that means you can remove contents from the bowl, you can replace contents from the bowl, or you can even put in contents that are not sugar within that bowl. So for example, if I say if I said a variable of name, we have all gone to websites and we have maybe they have prompted us to put in an email address, they have prompted you to put in a name. Okay, so let's say for example a variable name. So name is a container. Okay, name is going to be a container that is going to hold the name basically. So let's say the name is, let me get one from let me say for example Perth. Okay, so the name is equal to Perth. Okay, and basically this is a variable name Perth, which means name can be anything. It can be Shepherd, it can be Peniel, it can be Kenneth, it can be Joshua, it can be anything. Okay, so and if I said print name, okay, so let me if you already guessed what is going to happen, it is going to bring out what is held by the variable name. Now, I don't want you to get confused here. Name is the variable. Peruth is a string. Equal sign is an operator. And an operator, this is called an assignment operator. We shall look at operators within the next session, and we see what different operators do. So this is a variable of name, and it is assigned the value Peruth. Okay? So, but I can change. I can say name is equal to, I can say maybe Kenneth. Okay? And if I print Kenneth, if I print name again, we get the result Kenneth. Okay? So name was previously Peruth. It has now been updated to what? To Kenneth. Now, in Jupyter Notebook, if you come and run this thing again, it's going to give you Kenneth. Yet you see that the order has changed. Now, this is something that you need to note in Jupyter, that what the current value is what Jupyter is going to store. So, and you need to be careful when you're running cells where you have other variables with the same names. For example, if we had name up here and we came and ran it again, we would get Kenneth. Okay, so you get an error to run name. That's maybe basically you might not have you might either have used the capital P here, okay, or you have not assigned it properly. Okay, put the string within quotation marks, because we said characters are strings. So now let me run Peruth here. I run Peruth, I run name, should give me Peruth, and I run this, should give me that. I run this, it should give me Kenneth again. So I was just trying to, I wasn't trying to confuse you. Those who are not using Jupyter, don't worry, that won't happen. But in Jupyter, if you came and saved the variable name, it's now going to change. So now I want to show you something that that you can have a variable age. Okay, you can have a variable age. I will put my age, which is 56, and if I said print age, okay, print age, I should be able to get 56. Okay. Yes, Gerard. Gerard?
Because even there, it can vary.
I'm trying to mute him, but I can't. So if we have name or the variable age, we can store the value of age and then later print it out. So variables can store anything. So for example, I can say gender. Gender is equal to male. Okay. Gender is equal to male. Now, if I print gender, I should be able to get male. Now, the rules that govern variables are as follows. Okay. That we have ways in which we store variables. Okay. So let me come to W3 schools and I'll show you what I'm trying to talk about. So if I come to variables, creating a variable, you can assign a variable as we have been seeing, x is equal to 5, y is equal to John, print x, print y. So print x will bring the value of x, which is 5. Print y will bring a value of y, which is John. Okay. So when you click there, you'll see that the code does what we are trying to describe. Okay. So, but the thing where I wanted to show you that variables do not need to be declared with any particular type. Okay. And they can even change type after they have been set. So, for example, yes,
Josh,
yes, Shepard.
I got an error on gender.
Hey, yes.
I was I typed gender equals male, then
If you
I
put,
typed
did you put
print.
male in quotes?
Oh, I didn't.
Male is a string, so
Okay.
put male in quotes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So it should run now.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, sure.
So I
read
want
that.
to show you that output variables, variable names, and variable names. So a variable name can have a short name like X and Y, or it can have a more descriptive name like age. It can have total volume. It can have car name. Okay. We are seeing that it can have a more descriptive name. It can be age, can be gender, it can be name. Okay. But now we have these rules that you have to be able to adhere to whenever you are creating variables. So, for example, where was I? I was here. So you cannot start a variable name with a number. I cannot say 2, maybe age. Okay, and I say 2age is equal to maybe like 45. So first of all, it's going to tell me that it's an invalid decimal, literal, that it is a syntax error. But if I remove that and I run it, I get no error. Okay, so let me put there what they call a comment. Comments in Python help us to describe our code so that when other developers come to look at it, or if you look at it in the future, you probably know what you are trying to write. So I can say this is age, and if I put a hash before it, it should become a comment. This works across whether you are in VS Code or whether you are running it online. So you should be able to see that thing either it becomes italic or it can remain in its normal form, but it will become a comment. I don't want you to confuse it with what we are doing with markdowns. With markdowns, we were selecting first of all a cell and making it a markdown. But here you can run this within a cell of what? Of code. So this is age, and we say that variables cannot start with a number. Okay, with a number. Okay, so wherever you are, whether you're in VS Code or whatever, when you press Control and the /, it should automatically comment it out. But if it is difficult to digest, put a hash before it. Okay, so these are rules that govern variables. Let's go back to our W3 schools. That a variable cannot start with the letter or the underscore, with a letter or the underscore character. So when you come and say age is equal to 45, this is now a different meaning, as we shall continue to see. Okay, so when you are making it, you see that I do not have an error, but at the same time I have assigned age to 45, but then the same time is I'm trying to tell Python something that this is an age. I'm assigning it to that, but then I'm making it a private what? I'm making it a private variable. We shall look at these things when we continue. But let's avoid creating creating variables with these underscores. Okay. But I think in Python 3 there was an edit. We can actually start with an underscore, but they cannot start with a number, and they can, if you put a number, an underscore later, I say maybe age for Josh. This is a valid variable. And when you come and try to look at they are case sensitive. So they are case sensitive in a way that the variable age is equal to 56 and the variable age is equal to 56 are not the same. Okay, these are different names, so they are case sensitive. Make sure that if you have used a variable age and you want to keep calling that variable throughout your program, make sure that you keep using the word the small a, or else if you did this, you would be calling a different variable. So let me show you. So if I said print age is 56, and I say print age, what am I doing? So if I say print age with a capital A, okay, and I do that, they are going to tell me that age is not defined. Therefore, it's a name error, meaning that this is something different within Python. But if I say print age and I run that, it's going to give me a 56. Okay, so but in Python 3, the current version we are using, you can start these things with an underscore, yeah. But let us try to maintain readability. So variables, they cannot start with any of the Python keywords. And when you try to come to W3 schools, they're going to show you what Python keywords are. Now, these words are basically reserved, okay? They cannot be used as variable names, they cannot be used as functions or any other identifier. So for example, I cannot come and say I want to create a variable called true. Maybe true is equal to 45, okay? They're going to tell me that this cannot be assigned to true. Why? True is a keyword in Python. Now, you might not grab all the keywords as we are starting, but the more we code, the more these things will come naturally to you. And also, if you try to come here on W3 schools, they're giving you what the different keywords are. Okay, so do not be scared by these keywords. Come and look at them. Make sure that you do not assign them to variables. For example, you might want to say assert, yet assert is used for debugging, so you might not be able to assert to say that assert is equal to something. You cannot assign that to a variable because it is a keyword. So these keywords are reserved words, and all reserved words will change color in whatever thing that you're trying to print in. If I came to here and I said true, if I said assert, if I said finally, if I can, you see they are all colored differently. Okay, so these are what they call reserved words, and therefore you should use them as is, and you should not try to use them as as variable names. Now I don't want to oversaturate you. I want us to maybe keep here, and then we shall keep on. We shall start from there during the next session. So do we have any questions before we close the session? Okay. So Eibu, you have a question?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
My question is, you've been showing this in Jupyter, so yeah, I was getting problems with VS Code. So are you going to also show us what you're doing in VS Code?
VS Code, it is just basically keep on writing those statements. Like I was saying that age is equal to 56, print age. So in here, you're just trying to basically keep writing those, and you see when you run it, you get something within the terminal. So I want to encourage you that when after this session, you can do a little bit of more reading on these things, so that, because I might not have been exhaustive enough, but when I'm using these code editors, just write whatever you see me describing, and run it. Okay, so if I say I already said age, if I said name is equal to, I had used Peru. Now if I come to another line and say print name, okay, I'll do that and I'll see it down here. So I don't want you to be intimidated by codes. Don't be scared. These things will start coming natural. As I said yesterday, I shared a daily dev tip that it is just unfamiliar. It's an unfamiliar environment, but you'll get used to it. Okay, you'll get used to it. Just don't run away. Keep on within the environment, and then within the short time you'll find that these things are just coming naturally to you. So,
my question is, throughout the program, throughout the course, are you going to mostly use Jupyter or VS Code? I don't know.
So we shall do a blend of both. We shall do a blend of both. The reason why I preferred to use Jupyter is because it is the one thing that is going to remain constant. Whether you're starting with Python, whether you're doing machine learning, or you're going to keep using the VS Code. You're going to keep using the Jupyter notebooks. But with VS Code, you're going to, after we learn Python, you're going to have to upgrade to Jupyter. Okay. There is a way to do it. There's a way you can install extensions. You can install extensions within VS Code, and you get to do it. But it will take. It's basically it's going to become difficult for you to follow along, and it's difficult to customize. But it is possible. It's doable within VS Code. But if you are able to carry on, if you're able to get Jupyter, it's the one thing that you're going to keep using throughout the end of up to the end of this course.
So would you advise us to now like stick with Jupyter because it's the only constant?
Yes, I would encourage you to get Jupyter, but I would also encourage you to get VS Code. And I said that these programs are basically you install them depending on which type of machine you have. If you have like a dual core with 2 GB RAM with the 100 GB of space, you're not going to run Jupyter notebooks. You're not going to run Anaconda. But if you have such a type of PC, you're going to be able to run VS Code. So that's why I said that it depends on the architecture of your PC. If you feel the PC can handle something strong, put in these the Jupyter notebooks. So yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I really want to close, guys. I don't know if we have any other question so that we can close this, and then later on in the next session we shall look at different things. Yes, Abel.
Are you going to share the recording after?
Yes.
This session.
Yeah. Let me see if my screen recording worked properly as I intended it to. If it captured audio and video, and then I'll share.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Soro.
Maybe for the members, during the weekend, what would you encourage them to keep doing to follow up with you so that they're up to speed on Monday?
Yes, so it is this W3 schools is really nice. Come and select Python and start reading until where you feel we stopped. We stopped at I think even numbers. This is where we stopped. We stopped at this part. Okay. Come and read through. Look at the different things, and also the other thing is I would encourage you to read. You see, when you go to python.org, we can get a Python documentation. Okay, so when I come to I can get the docs of Python here. So this is the official tutorial of Python. Okay, so this is a Python tutorial, but of course here you need to be good at reading. You have to come and read, look at numbers, text. We're looking at numbers. Come and look at them. Okay, you'll be fine. Come to W3 schools. You read and you understand these things better. Try the examples, and then yeah. So, Able.
I could share the slides too.
I will share everything. I'll share everything.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, guys. See you on Monday evening. See you on Monday evening. I want you to be now conversant with the environments. Go through VS Code before get used to run creating files. Go to YouTube, get those small tutorials, learn how to use these things so that next time we are going through, you're not asking me, hey, how did you run the sale? How did you do that? So let us get used to those different environments, and then yes, we shall be okay. I see a hand up. It was who? Let me see. Someone had put their hand up. I don't know, but I think let us meet on Monday, and thank you guys for being a good class, asking the questions. We shall get there. The first time is always the hardest, but we shall get better. Thank you very much, and I'll stop presenting from here.